Well, this the plan for forward design is from input to process to output, and this plan, actually, the sequence looks pretty much logical because you have decided the content. You think about the methodology, and then you can think of the outcomes which a program can give for a specific group of learners. But this is one route to analyze approaches to curriculum design. Well, there is another route, there is another roadmap, and Richard envisages very beautifully this one in the form of central design. Central design actually starts with the, as compared to the forward design, it starts with the selection of activities. I mean, first teacher decides about the methodology, the techniques to be employed in the classroom. Then it moves on, the issues related to the content and output are addressed or analyzed at later stages of the program. So, what research indicates in practice, while analyzing forward and central designs, Richard argues that they often tend to follow central design. The reason is I would like to give my own personal perspective or personal experience of using central design while I was teaching academic writing skills to pre-sessional students in the English Language Center of University of East London. Well, in one of my lessons, I decided that I would use a task-based language teaching approach to teach the use of hedging devices, may and might. And I anticipated that I would put the students in pair work, group work, and I will talk less, and I'll just have my students get involved in the in the classroom activities. But what actually happened, because I didn't think of the dynamics of the classroom, because some of the students coming from Iranian background, they were not sure about may and might, and therefore, when I reflected afterwards on my lesson, what I gained from my reflection that I spent too much time on elaborating the objectives of that particular lesson. So theoretically, I should have done that lesson sticking to task-based language teaching approach, but when I talked too much, I mean, it seemed to be sort of teacher-centered lesson, right? There are certain features of central design which need to be understood here. It gives freedom to teachers, sort of flexible, because they could make decisions about the methodology later on. The decisions about the content later on. And if we compare this one with the method-based approaches, so it seems pretty much flexible in terms of allowing teachers to innovate their teaching well. And its features, for example, this central design sees students as an individual rather than as a homogeneous group. They are seen as a heterogeneous group, having their own different learning styles and preferences and wants for language learning, and it looks at the context from its unique perspective. I mean, each context is used, and we need to shape our teaching to the context where we are teaching. And this central design actually lays emphasis on making teacher as the main protagonist, who actually plays active role as a syllabus developer, as a material developer, and as a curriculum developer. Well, the learners, as I said before, since it's a learner-centered method, so learners are seen active instead of passive. In the case of grammar translation method, where learners are seen sort of passive learners, right? So central design, in brief, offers another roadmap to understand some of the approaches which we can use to understand language curriculum design processes.